Look at your bank account. It's a mirror. It reflects not your effort, but your mindset. Some people are working 12-hour days, still broke. Others work with vision and earn while they sleep. The difference? It's not the job, it's the psychology. You can't out-earn your self-image. If deep inside you still see yourself as poor, you'll find a way to return to struggle even after success. But if you learn to think rich before you become rich, money starts to obey you. Change your thoughts, and you'll change your financial destiny. Let me tell you something, my friends. If you want to change your life, you must first change your philosophy. Wealth doesn't begin with the wallet. It begins with the way you think. You can hand two people the same opportunity, same business, same product, same training, and 10 years later, one is wealthy and the other is still struggling. What happened? The difference wasn't in the opportunity, it was in the philosophy guiding their choices. The poor man says, I can't afford it, while the rich man asks, how can I afford it? One sees limits, the other sees leverage. That's not luck, that's mindset. When I started out, I wasn't rich. In fact, I was broke in the bank and broke in belief. Then I met a man who told me something that changed my life. He said, for things to change, you have to change. For things to get better, you have to get better. I thought about that for weeks. I realized I was blaming the government, the weather, my boss, everything except the person I had the most control over, me. That was the day I stopped thinking poor and started thinking possibility. You see, thinking poor is easy. It's easy to say, there's not enough. It's easy to think life is unfair. But thinking rich takes discipline. Thinking rich means you see abundance even when there's little in your hands. It means you believe that if someone else can do it, you can too. The rich mindset says, I may not have much now, but I'm not staying here. That's the beginning of transformation. The poor spend energy defending their limitations. The rich spend energy building possibilities. The poor look for comfort, the rich look for growth. And that's why wealth starts in the mind, because money will always follow the person who has the vision, the courage, and the mindset to attract it. The goal isn't to chase money, it's to become the kind of person money is attracted to. Once you develop that mindset, everything begins to shift. You start treating your time differently. Your habits change, your circle changes, and your conversations change. If you want to build wealth, don't start by looking for a raise. Start by raising your philosophy. Don't beg for opportunity. Build your capacity to recognize it. Don't wish for easier times. Wish for better thinking. That's how you change your direction. That's how you begin to attract success instead of chase it. So remember this truth. Your bank account will never exceed your mindset for long. If you want more, become more. Wealth begins not with the money in your pocket, but with the thoughts that fill your mind. Now let's talk about something most people get wrong. Saving. You see, the poor save to survive, while the rich save to invest. It's not that saving is bad. In fact, it's essential. But if all you ever do is save, your money becomes like soldiers who never go to battle. They look sharp, standing in line in your account, but they never conquer new territory. And that's the tragedy. Too many people are working too hard for money that's sitting still when they could be putting it to work. When I first started earning, I was proud just to have something left in the bank at the end of the month. I thought saving was the ultimate financial goal. Tuck it away, keep it safe, guard it like a treasure. But one day, my mentor said something that changed everything. He said, you're not supposed to guard money, you're supposed to grow it. That one line shifted my perspective. You see, the poor think of savings as a cushion, a safety net. But the rich think of savings as capital, a foundation for building something greater. The poor save to avoid pain. The rich save to create gain. Now, the key is to change your relationship with money. Every dollar you earn has a purpose. It can either work for you or against you. When you spend it carelessly, it disappears forever. When you save it with no plan, it sleeps. But when you invest it wisely, it multiplies. That's the difference between stagnation and growth. Money is meant to move, and your job is to guide its direction with intelligence and intention. Here's the truth. If you put $10 in a drawer, 10 years later it's still $10, except now it buys less. Inflation has eaten part of its value. But if you invest that same $10 wisely, it can grow into $20, $30, even $50. Not because that's the secret the rich understand. Money is a tool, not a trophy. So how do you start when you have little? Begin small. Automate 10% of every dollar you earn and send it somewhere it can grow. A stock, a mutual fund, even a small side venture. Don't wait for the right time. Time is what makes it right. The earlier you begin, the more compounding works in your favor. I've often said the miracle of compound interest is proof that patience pays better than panic. And it's true. Consistent, disciplined investing over time outperforms quick wins every day of the week. The goal isn't to die with money in the bank. The goal is to live with money that's working for you. Because when your money works, you don't have to. So don't just save to survive, save to invest. Don't just protect your money, deploy it. Let every dollar you earn bring back 2 friends. That's how wealth is built, one smart decision at a time. If you want to understand one of the greatest secrets of wealth, here it is. The poor think about the weekend, the rich think about decades. That's it. It's not intelligence, not luck, not even opportunity. It's perspective. The poor want to feel good today. The rich want to live well tomorrow. Most people sacrifice their future for comfort in the present. The rich do the opposite. They sacrifice a bit of the present to secure a better future. That's the difference between a paycheck and prosperity, between temporary pleasure and lasting freedom. I remember a time when I was young and broke, and someone offered me a chance to earn quick money. It sounded exciting, instant success, easy gain, but my mentor stopped me. He said, if it's fast money, it's usually foolish money. He was right. Quick gains often disappear as quickly as they come because they're built on impatience, not principles. Wealth, real wealth, is grown like a tree, seed by seed, season by season. You don't plant today and harvest tomorrow. You nurture, you wait, you water, and eventually you reap. See, the problem with instant gratification is that it tricks you into thinking progress should feel pleasurable all the time. It doesn't. Building wealth is not always exciting. Sometimes it's routine, sometimes it's slow, sometimes it's lonely. But patience turns effort into reward. Every dollar reinvested, every temptation resisted, every year spent learning, these are not losses, they're roots. And roots make the tree strong enough to bear fruit. The poor think, when I get more money, I'll start saving. The rich think, when I get more discipline, I'll earn more money. It's not about waiting for the perfect time. It's about becoming the kind of person who can handle what's coming. That's why I say, the major key to your better future is you. The market doesn't decide your success, your mindset does. Now, how do you practice long-term thinking? First, set your compass far ahead. Don't just dream about next month. Think about 5-10 years down the road. What kind of life do you want? What kind of freedom do you desire? Write it down. Let those long-term goals become your North Star. Then, start making small daily decisions that align with that vision. Skip a few luxuries today so you can own your time tomorrow. Reinvest profits instead of spending them. And celebrate progress, not perfection. Each milestone, no matter how small, is proof that you're moving in the right direction. Remember this, the path to wealth is not paved in gold, it's paved in patience. It's a series of consistent, wise decisions stacked over time. If you can trade the impulse for the immediate for the satisfaction of the eventual, you've already crossed the bridge. Most people never do. Don't rush the harvest, nurture the seed. Because the one who waits with purpose always reaps with abundance. Money is a wonderful servant, but it's a terrible master. Most people never learn that truth until it's too late. They let their money, or worse, their lack of it, dictate their emotions, their decisions, even their relationships. But those who understand wealth know something different. Control your money, or your money will control you. Every dollar that leaves your hand should have a purpose, a direction, a mission. Otherwise, it slips away quietly, and you're left wondering why the harder you work, the less you seem to have. I learned this lesson early on. I was earning a decent income, but somehow I was always broke. My mentor asked me to write down where my money went for 30 days. I thought I knew, but I didn't. When I finally looked at the list, I realized I wasn't poor because I wasn't earning enough. I was poor because I wasn't paying attention. Every little just this once purchase was quietly stealing my future. See, money doesn't disappear. It obeys the one who gives it direction. If you don't give your money orders, it finds its own way out. The poor often think wealth begins with earning more, but wealth truly begins with managing what you already have. If you can't handle $1,000, you won't handle $10,000. If you can't manage a paycheck, you won't manage a business. Discipline doesn't come from abundance. Abundance comes from discipline. The wealthy don't spend emotionally, they spend intentionally. They know where every dollar goes because they've told it where to go. That's not control out of fear, it's control out of purpose. One of the best principles I ever learned was to divide money into categories that reflect your values, not just your needs. The 70-10-10-10 rule changed my life. Live on 70%. Invest 10%, learn with 10%, give 10%. That structure forces balance. You live responsibly, you grow your future, you expand your mind, and you keep your heart generous. That's a complete financial philosophy, not just a budget. It ensures that money serves your life, not the other way around. You also have to develop the habit of awareness. Track your expenses, even for a short while. See where the leaks are. You might discover that your money is slipping away in places you never notice. Idle subscriptions, impulsive meals, emotional shopping. Each one looks small, but together they form a river flowing in the wrong direction. Plug the leaks, and suddenly your financial future looks a lot stronger. And here's a habit that separates the rich from the broke. Pause before spending. When you feel the urge to buy something big, ask yourself one question. Will this build wealth or just relieve boredom? Most people buy to feel better, but feelings fade faster than financial freedom. So take control today. Don't let money dictate your emotions or your destiny. Treat it like the loyal soldier it can be, disciplined, directed, and determined to serve your vision. Because once you learn to master money, it will quietly begin working to master your future. One of the most powerful influences on your destiny is not your talent, your education, or even your luck. It's your associations. The people you choose to spend your time with are shaping your thoughts, your standards, and ultimately your results. You can't fly like an eagle if you keep walking with turkeys. You can't expect to think rich if you're constantly surrounded by those who complain, blame, and remain the same. That's not arrogance, that's awareness. You become what you're around. If your circle isn't inspiring you, it's limiting you. I remember when I was just starting out, struggling to get ahead. I had dreams, yes, but I was surrounded by people who thought dreaming was foolish. Every time I talked about building wealth or success, they'd laugh and say, "Be realistic." And for a while, I listened. Then one day, a mentor told me something that hit hard. If you keep taking advice from people who've never been where you're going, you'll end up exactly where they are. That was the day I began to change my circle. I started seeking out people who were building things, businesses, ideas, character, and discipline. Because builders think differently. Builders talk about opportunities, not obstacles. They focus on what's possible, not what's painful. And when you spend time with them, something incredible happens. You start to raise your own standards. You stop being satisfied with just surviving. You begin to see that wealth isn't luck, it's logic. It's not about how much you earn, but how much you learn, how much you grow, and how much value you bring to the world. The right people pull that greatness out of you. So here's the key: be intentional about your associations. Don't just drift into relationships, design them. Find mentors who have walked the path you want to take. Offer value to them, even if all you can offer at first is your energy and your willingness to learn. Join groups where ambition is normal and progress is celebrated. You'll find that your ideas grow sharper, your habits stronger, and your mindset richer just by being in the right conversations. At the same time, you'll have to distance yourself from those who drain your energy or distract your focus. I don't mean you cut people off cruelly. Just limit the time you spend in environments that feed your fears instead of your faith. Protect your energy as fiercely as you protect your wallet, because your environment will either multiply your wealth or minimize it. And one more thing, share your goals with someone who will hold you accountable, someone who will remind you of your vision when you forget. Accountability is the glue between intention and action. When you surround yourself with people who won't let you settle, you rise by default. So look at your circle. Are they consumers or builders? Are they spending their days or investing them? Your future depends on the answer. Because wealth isn't just built by what you do, it's built by who you do it with. If there's one truth that separates the rich from the poor, it's this: wealth doesn't come from chasing money, it comes from chasing value. You see, money is nothing more than a reward for service rendered. The world pays you not for what you want, but for the problems you solve. Contribution precedes compensation, always. And when you understand that principle, you unlock one of the greatest secrets of wealth creation. Serve more, serve better, and serve first. I remember early in my career, I was working hard but earning little. I thought the answer was to demand more pay, to get a raise, to find something easier. But then I learned that income doesn't respond to need, it responds to value. If you want to earn more, you must become more. If you want to multiply your income, multiply your contribution. That's when I shifted my focus. Instead of asking, what can I get? I began asking, how can I help? That single change turned my financial life around. When you focus on service, your mindset changes completely. You stop seeing work as an obligation and start seeing it as an opportunity. You start looking for ways to make life easier for others, to bring comfort, clarity, or convenience to their world. Because the truth is, the market doesn't care about your excuses, but it deeply rewards your usefulness. The more people you serve, and the more deeply you serve them, the more the universe opens its doors for you. If you want to test this, try it in your job or business. Look for one way to add extraordinary value to your boss, your team, or your customers. Maybe it's solving a problem before it becomes one. Maybe it's improving a system, saving time, or simply showing up with a better attitude. You'll be amazed at how quickly that contribution comes back to you in opportunity, in recognition, and eventually in income. But service isn't just about business, it's a way of life. It means asking, what do people need right now, and how can I provide it? Maybe you can build a product, write a book, teach a skill, or design a system. Wealth creation is simply finding scalable ways to meet human needs. The richest people on earth aren't the ones who take the most. They're the ones who give the most at scale. Amazon serves convenience. Apple serves creativity. Great entrepreneurs don't sell, they serve. And here's the magic. When you serve with excellence, the market becomes your marketing. People talk, word spreads, opportunities find you. That's when wealth multiplies, not by luck, but by design. So remember this, you don't build wealth by collecting, you build it by contributing. Every fortune began with someone saying, "How can I help?" Serve first, and the world will serve you back, multiplied, magnified, and meaningful. There's a secret the wealthy understand that most people completely miss. The poor trade time for money, but the rich trade systems for time. You see, every person has the same 24 hours in a day. The difference between a broke man and a rich one isn't how much time they have, but how they use it. The poor think in terms of wages. I'll work an hour and you pay me for that hour. But the rich think in terms of leverage. I'll invest an hour that can pay me for the rest of my life. In my early days, I worked long hours. I thought the harder I worked, the richer I'd become. But soon I realized you can't outwork the clock. There's a limit to how many hours you can give, but there's no limit to how many systems, people, or investments can work for you. That was the turning point. I stopped asking, how can I work more? And started asking, how can I make my work for me? That's when real wealth began. Leverage is the magic word. It's what turns effort into expansion. Think about it. A machine leverages power to move more than it could alone. A great leader leverages people to accomplish more than one man ever could. An investor leverages money to earn even while he sleeps. Every wealthy person, in one way or another, has mastered the art of leverage. If you're spending every day buried in tasks that someone else could do, you're trading gold for gravel. Delegate what drains your energy and automate what steals your hours. Technology, people, and systems exist to free you, not enslave you. The question is, are you using them or are they using you? The poor think they're saving money by doing everything themselves, but what they're really doing is wasting time, the one thing they can never earn back. The next step is to focus your energy where it matters most. High-value activities that create exponential results. Don't spend your days doing what feels urgent. Spend them doing what's important. Every hour you invest should bring a return, whether in money, skill, or freedom. That's how the rich think. And finally, put your money to work. Every dollar should have a job, a mission, and a return. When your assets start producing income without your constant labor, you begin to experience true financial freedom. It's not about working less. It's about making your work compound. When your time, talent, and money all start producing for you, that's when you escape the cycle of survival and enter the world of abundance. So remember this, you were not born to trade your life for a paycheck. You were born to build something that pays you for your life. Learn to leverage time before time runs out on you. Gratitude. It sounds like such a simple idea, doesn't it? But it's one of the most powerful forces in the world of wealth creation. Let me tell you something most people don't realize. Wealth begins in the mind long before it appears in the bank. And gratitude is what clears the fog so you can see opportunity clearly. Poor thinking focuses on what's missing. I don't have enough money. I don't have enough time. I don't have the right connections. But rich thinking says, look at what I do have. Let's see what I can build with it. I remember when I was just starting out, I didn't have much. My pockets were empty, but my spirit was full. I was grateful that I could think, that I could learn, that I could grow. That simple mindset shift changed everything. Gratitude became the lens through which I saw life. And once I started appreciating what I had, more began to come my way. You see, the mind is like soil. Whatever seed you plant, it multiplies. If you plant thoughts of lack, you'll harvest more lack. But if you plant gratitude, you'll harvest abundance. Gratitude doesn't ignore problems, it gives you strength to solve them. I've met many people who chase wealth but live in constant frustration. They say, when I make more, I'll be grateful. But that's not how it works. Gratitude is not the result of success, it's the foundation of it. You don't become grateful because you're wealthy, you become wealthy because you're grateful. Start small. Each morning, take a few minutes to write down 3 things you're thankful for. It could be your health, your family, a new opportunity, or even the lessons from yesterday's failures. When you live in gratitude, you develop a sense of peace and purpose that money alone can't give you. And here's the miracle. That peace attracts prosperity. People want to work with, buy from, and help those who radiate gratitude. Another important step, thank the people who have helped you along the way. Write a note, make a call, or simply say, I appreciate you. Gratitude deepens relationships, and relationships multiply wealth. The poor often live in resentment, blaming others, complaining about circumstances, and that mindset repels opportunity. But gratitude opens doors because it changes you, and people respond to that. And when you feel like complaining, pause and ask, what is this situation teaching me? Every challenge carries a lesson that can move you closer to your goal if you're grateful enough to see it. So here's the truth. Gratitude isn't just a spiritual practice, it's a wealth strategy. It keeps you grounded when success comes and hopeful when success hides. Gratitude is the anchor that keeps your mind steady while your wealth grows. When you live in thanks, life keeps giving you more to be thankful for. If you want to build true, lasting wealth, start by making your most important investment in yourself. Before you invest in the stock market, real estate, or business, you must first invest in the mind and body that will make those decisions. See, money doesn't make you rich, you make money rich. And the more valuable you become, the more value you can attract. Too many people try to upgrade their income without upgrading themselves. That's like trying to grow a tree without strengthening its roots. I remember a time early in my life when I thought the key to success was working harder, longer hours, more hustle, more grind. But then I realized working hard on your job will make you a living, working hard on yourself will make you a fortune. The difference between those who grow wealthy and those who remain stuck is not luck or talent, it's growth. Millionaires read, learn, and stretch their thinking daily because they know wealth is not something you chase, it's something you attract by becoming more valuable. So, how do you do that? You begin with daily discipline. Dedicate at least 1 hour a day to learning, not just about money, but about the mindset and skills that create it. Study communication, leadership, sales, investing, time management, read books, listen to audios, watch mentors, whatever it takes. The world pays for value, and the marketplace rewards those who can think clearly and act wisely. Every hour spent learning compounds just like money. Small daily growth builds unstoppable momentum over time. And don't just feed your mind, strengthen your body too. A tired, unhealthy body cannot carry a wealthy mind. I've seen many ambitious people burn out because they neglected their health while chasing success. But energy is wealth. When your body is strong, your spirit is stronger, and you make better choices, exercise daily, eat right, rest well, it's not luxury, it's leverage. A healthy person can work with passion, stay focused longer, and recover faster from setbacks. Remember, every dollar you invest in your education or health multiplies itself. Attend seminars, take courses, read books, because the more you know, the more doors open. When I was broke, books became my mentors. Each one expanded my thinking and reshaped my future. I learned that poor people stop learning after school, but rich people never stop learning. The moment you stop growing, you start declining. So, don't wait for wealth to come before you improve yourself. Improve yourself, and wealth will come looking for you. Every great achievement begins with a person who decided to become more than they were yesterday. When you invest in yourself, you're not just building income, you're building identity. And once you become the kind of person who can handle success, success becomes inevitable. Because when you grow, everything in your life grows with you. If you want to create lasting wealth, you cannot rely on a single paycheck. One source of income is fragile. A job can be lost. A business can slow. The market can shift. The wealthy understand this truth. Financial freedom is built not by relying on one stream, but by creating many. Income, like a river, should flow from multiple sources, converging into a powerful current that carries you toward independence. I've seen countless people work tirelessly at a single job, only to be blindsided by layoffs or unexpected expenses. One stream is not enough to sustain a life of freedom. The first step is to look at the resources you already have, your skills, your knowledge, your time, your small savings, and ask, how can these create another source of income? Start small, but start deliberately. Perhaps it's offering freelance work in your area of expertise, creating a digital product, tutoring, or starting a modest side business. When I began, I had no fortune, no network, and no guidance. But I did have ideas and a willingness to act. I turned what little I had into multiple opportunities, each one compounding over time. Investing is another powerful stream. Consider rental properties, dividend-paying stocks, or small business investments. Money that works while you sleep is the cornerstone of freedom. Even modest investments, when reinvested, multiply like a snowball rolling down a hill. The key is consistency. Invest a portion of every paycheck, no matter how small, and let time and compounding do the heavy lifting. The beauty of multiple income streams is that they create resilience. When one falters, others continue to flow. This approach also encourages creativity, problem solving, and skill expansion. Each new stream you build not only generates cash, but strengthens your capabilities and your confidence. Over time, these streams merge, creating momentum that a single job could never achieve. Reinvest your profits to grow even more streams. Don't consume every dollar immediately. Use it to expand your reach. I remember reinvesting small earnings from side hustles into small ventures that later became substantial sources of revenue. Each act of reinvestment built momentum that transformed a small starting point into freedom and choice. Diversifying your income is not about greed, it's about security, leverage, and opportunity. Every great fortune I have known was built not by relying on one paycheck, but by creating multiple flows of value. You can do the same. Start today with one small effort, invest consistently, and let your streams of income multiply over time. Wealth is not a single river. It is a network of streams that together carve a path to freedom. Many people fall into a trap that quietly erodes their potential for wealth. Lifestyle inflation. The moment income rises, so do expenses. Bigger house, fancier car, more gadgets. While it feels like progress, it's really a subtle form of self-imposed limitation. True wealth is not about earning more, it's about keeping more and letting that surplus grow. I've watched countless individuals earn higher salaries yet feel perpetually broke because their spending grew alongside their paychecks. The rich understand that income is a tool, not a license for indulgence. The first principle is to consciously control your lifestyle, not let it control you. When a raise comes, the first decision should not be how can I spend this, but how can I make this work for me? Allocate a portion to investments, perhaps in stocks, a small business, or real estate. Reduce or eliminate high-interest debt. Keep your core living expenses steady even as income rises. This creates a gap between what you earn and what you consume, and that gap is the seedbed of wealth. Every purchase should be evaluated for its impact on freedom and growth. Ask yourself, will this expense produce long-term value or just temporary satisfaction? A luxury car bought today may bring pride, but also depreciation, insurance, and maintenance costs that drain your financial potential. A small investment in learning or assets, however, multiplies over time, increasing both wealth and opportunity. Resisting lifestyle inflation requires discipline and vision. Write down your financial goals, including wealth-building targets, and review them whenever you face new income. Make it a habit to direct every increase towards your future rather than instant gratification. Automate these allocations so that the discipline becomes effortless. I recall my own journey, earning more while maintaining the same simple lifestyle. Each raise, each bonus went directly into investments that eventually became self-sustaining income streams. Today, those decisions continue to produce returns that far exceed what I could have earned by spending each paycheck immediately. Avoiding lifestyle inflation is not deprivation, it's strategic patience. It's the ability to live well today without sacrificing tomorrow. Wealth does not grow from higher earnings alone. It grows from controlled spending, intentional investment, and the habit of prioritizing freedom over fleeting pleasure. The choice is yours. Let your lifestyle dictate your wealth, or let your wealth empower your life. Creating wealth is only part of the equation. Preserving it is just as important. I've met countless individuals who worked tirelessly, invested wisely, and built assets, only to see their progress erased by unforeseen events, illness, accident, market downturns, or simple lack of preparation. The rich understand that earning without protection is like building a house on sand. Risk is inevitable, but unmanaged risk can destroy even the best-laid plans. Protecting your wealth is not pessimism, it is foresight and discipline in action. The first principle is insurance. Health, life, and property insurance are not optional luxuries. They are shields that prevent financial calamity from undermining years of effort. Imagine the cost of a medical emergency without coverage. It can wipe out savings in a single month. Insurance converts potential catastrophe into manageable, predictable costs. It transforms uncertainty into stability, giving you peace of mind to focus on growth rather than worry. Diversification is the next pillar of protection. Placing all your investments in one sector, one company, or one type of asset is dangerous. Spread your capital across stocks, bonds, real estate, or small business ventures. Each asset class reacts differently to economic changes, providing balance and resilience. Diversification does not maximize short-term returns, but it ensures longevity, safeguarding your wealth against the inevitable cycles of life and markets. Planning is the final key. Review your financial safety plan at least once a year. Reassess your insurance policies, investment allocations, and emergency reserves. Life changes, income rises, responsibilities shift, markets fluctuate, a stagnant plan leaves you exposed. I remember reviewing my own portfolio and insurance coverage annually, adjusting to reflect new risks, opportunities, and family needs. This habit transformed uncertainty into confidence. Risk management is not a passive act. It is proactive wealth protection. Without it, every gain is fragile. Preserving what you have earned allows compounding, growth, and freedom to continue unhindered. Protect your wealth, and you create a foundation that allows you to dream bigger, take calculated risks, and multiply your assets without fear. True wealth endures because it is both built and safeguarded. Wealth is not merely about what sits in your bank account. It is about the flow of value in your life. One of the most overlooked truths is that giving generously does not diminish wealth, it multiplies it. I have witnessed countless times that those who hoard often struggle, while those who contribute see doors open in ways that money alone cannot buy. Giving cultivates trust, expands networks, and builds reputations that attract opportunity. As it was wisely said centuries ago, it is more blessed to give than to receive. This is not sentimentality. It is a principle as reliable as compounding interest. The first step is intentional generosity. Allocate a portion of your income, even 5 or 10%, to causes that resonate with you, whether charity, mentorship, or helping a neighbor. The act is not about display. It is about creating a mindset of abundance. When you give consistently, you begin to see money and resources not as scarce, but as tools to build impact. Next is giving through service. Solve problems for others without immediate expectation of payment. Offer your skills, knowledge, and time to assist those who need guidance. I have spent hours mentoring young people who had nothing but ambition, and the return came not in cash, but in loyalty, partnerships, and opportunities I could never have bought. Teaching and sharing knowledge is another form of generosity. When you help someone grow, you multiply your own capacity. Each person you lift creates ripples of influence, and the marketplace notices those who create value generously. By lifting others, you strengthen the ecosystem in which your own wealth can flourish. Remember, giving strategically is not reckless spending, it is planting seeds. These seeds, nourished with consistency and sincerity, often return tenfold in ways that savings alone cannot achieve. True wealth combines accumulation with contribution. Money grows when it flows toward others in meaningful ways. The act of giving transforms your mindset from scarcity to abundance and aligns your life with principles that naturally attract prosperity. Generosity, when practiced wisely, becomes a multiplier of both opportunity and character. Give not because you must, but because giving itself is the currency of lasting wealth. Ladies and gentlemen, as we come to the close of this conversation, I want you to reflect deeply on what we have discussed today. Wealth is not an accident. It is not a product of luck, inheritance, or a lucky break. It is the natural consequence of consistent philosophy, disciplined action, and focused effort. If you have listened closely, you know that it begins in the mind. The thoughts you cultivate, the beliefs you hold about money, value, and yourself shape your results. A millionaire is not someone who earns more. A millionaire is someone who thinks differently, acts differently, and lives differently. Your future begins with the choices you make today, and your wealth is the reflection of the mindset you choose to adopt. Discipline, vision, focus, these are not abstract concepts. They are the foundation stones of every lasting fortune. Wealth is built by controlling your spending, investing wisely, serving others, and using your time and energy with intention. You cannot control the economy, luck, or other people, but you can control your preparation, your learning, and your effort. You can choose to surround yourself with people who elevate your thinking, cultivate skills that multiply your value, and take daily actions that compound over time. These are the small, consistent steps that lead to extraordinary results. I urge you not to wait for the right time to start. The right time is now. Wealth is not built in a day, but it is destroyed in a day of carelessness. Start by taking control of what you can, your mindset, your actions, your habits, and your relationships. Start small if necessary, but start. Every investment of your time, money, and energy in yourself or in creating value for others is a seed planted for future freedom. Every act of generosity, every skill you learn, every connection you nurture compounds quietly until one day you look back and realize you have created more than money. You have created choice, security, and impact. So here is your call to action. Decide today that you will think differently. Commit to building value, not just chasing a paycheck. Invest in yourself relentlessly. Serve others generously. Protect what you earn and grow it with patience. Write down your vision, set your goals, and execute daily. Don't allow excuses, fear, or temporary setbacks to dictate your destiny. Remember, the major key to your better future is you. Take these principles, put them into practice, and watch how your life transforms. Wealth is available to anyone willing to adopt the mindset, the discipline, and the focus of those who have gone before. Act with purpose, think with clarity, and commit to consistency. Your journey starts today, and your future self will thank you for every step you take toward mastery, freedom, and abundance.